It was an eventful Wednesday. You may be wondering, what are you on about? Well, we'll get to that later on. So yeah, stay tuned for that. A lot of European games to kind of go over. But before we get into it, Aberdeen, Celtic and Partick Thistle have all been disciplined over Pyro. Now here on Fog Football, we've actually stood up for Pyro. Oh, James Maddison to miss the majority of the season with a torn ACL. That is not what Spurs would have wanted. A bit of brutal. I say breaking news. I hit 2 hours ago. But anyway, so Aberdeen, Celtic, Partick Thistle have been disciplined by the Scottish Professional League for their fans' pyrotechnic displays at the end of last season. The two Premiership clubs will have to close 200 seats if there is a repeat of the unacceptable conduct, while Championship outfit Thistle would face the closure of a whole stand after their display was also followed by a pitch invasion. It follows an investigation by the league into large-scale, organised and illegal pyrotechnic displays at the games between Aberdeen, Celtic and St Mirren, plus Ayr United and Partick Thistle. Now, I actually don't recall the games. The Aberdeen-Celtic game, I mean, it's talking about both teams. I'm going to assume it's the cup final. I mean, Aberdeen do whip out the odd bit of pyro for their home games, but it tends to be when they're joint top of the league in September or something. Anyway, shots fired. Here, joint top in the league in September is more than what can be said for my team, so you know what, I'll take that. But Celtic and St Mirren, I believe it must have been last game of the season, something to do with that. And Ayr United versus Partick Thistle, was that the semi-final playoff? It must have been something along those lines, but this is what the league said in a statement. All three clubs have been found to have breached SPFL rules in failing to ensure, as far as is reasonably practicable, and their supporters did not engage in an unacceptable conduct at those matches, the league said in a statement. The clubs were also found to have failed to identify or take proportionate disciplinary measures against the supporters responsible for the pyrotechnic displays, and in Partick Thistle's case, also against those who carried out the pitch invasion. End of quote. Yeah, I think pitch invasions, right? I think they're justified. Sometimes. But see the amount of them, man. Over nothing. Like, see if it's the final day of the season, right? And your team win the league in the 95th minute. To me, all bets are off, right? You can understand it. But what you can't understand is when there's just random games of football. And literally a win warrants a pitch invasion. I don't understand that. I really don't. Now, obviously, like I said about the winning leagues, now that doesn't apply to every team, so you might be like, well, how about Partick Thistle? Never going to win the Premiership? Well, I'll say Partick Thistle, like every other team's winning it. No, right? I mean, technically, there's only one team winning it right now. Hopefully that'll change, right? But reality is, I still think pitch invasions are 10 pots, especially if you're doing them, like, for nothing games, really. Nothing games. Now, let's see. Oh, so the pyrotechnics display by Aberdeen fans during the 14th of May match against Celtic led to Sky Sports having to apologise for interruptions to the broadcast following the display, which caused significant smoke clouds to form within the stadium. So I got that wrong. I actually said that was the game at Hampden, the cup final, which it wasn't. I'm surprised about it. I don't remember Aberdeen. I just assumed it would have been the final, which would have made more sense. Now, Celtic supporters carried out pyrotechnic displays in the northeast corner of Celtic Park during and prior to the final league game of the season at home to St Mirren on the 17th of May. And I quote, "These incidents caused a health and safety risk to fellow supporters, players and those working at matches, as well as a significant inconvenience to thousands of supporters at the matches and fans watching these games at home." End of quote. Did the janitor just get them off it? It sounded like he did, but here, I've always defended Pyro. I don't give a shit what team it is, right? The Pyro, I like it. It adds to it. I think it's brilliant. Now, throwing a 200-seat ban, it's not much, especially for Celtic and Aberdeen. For Partick, it could have more of an effect, but, I mean, this isn't even a dig at Aberdeen. This is just facts. It's not like Aberdeen sell it every week. It's not like, 200 fans, that would be the end of the... No, if you said, like, Partick or get threatened with a full stand closure because of the pitch invasion, so that would be different. So, but yeah, Thistle issued a statement telling fans, and I quote, "Please don't bring pyrotechnics, and please don't go on the pitch. I'm telling you, don't go on the pitch." Right, well, let's talk about the football played on the pitch. So, yeah, that's the closing thoughts there on the Pyro. Brilliant, right, they're all disciplined. Aye. yesterday, right? So look at this. Now, we will talk about these games a wee bit more in the European review show, but I feel like there's a few results to talk about. So, Kairat, Kairat beat Slovan Bratislava 1-0. Now, and I actually went on flash score, it said 2-0. They must have had a goal disallowed or something. Not too sure. But either way, they play in Kazakhstan, folks. It's something like a 5,000 mile round trip. And I'm hearing all sort of excuses get fired out for this game. Oh, we're going to have to go 5,000 miles before an Old Firm game, is what Celtic fans are saying. It's like, see when we play on a Thursday, right? And hopefully we don't play on a Thursday this year. I hope it's Tuesday and Wednesday, baby. But it might be a Thursday, right? You never know. I don't use it as an excuse, because you know what? That's on us. See this Celtic, we have to travel 5,000 miles before an Old Firm game. It's like, well, you know what? See if Celtic contributed to the coefficient, you wouldn't have to do it. That's a fact. And also, the game's on a Tuesday and the Old Firm is on a Sunday. Shove your 5,000 miles excuse up your arse. Honestly, man, see when we played, we went 100 and, what was it against Leipzig? We went like 120 minutes. It might have been it was either Leipzig or Braga. Actually, no, it was Braga, because that's the game we went to extra time. We went to Braga, right? We did full amount of extra time, right? And then we played against Celtic and put them at the cup. Then against Hearts, we did the full against Frankfurt. Tragic state of affairs talking about that game. And then we did it against, Hearts 3 days later. So, see, this excuses, man. These guys are paid a lot of money. It's pathetic. These excuses, they should not fly. But be interesting nonetheless to see who goes through in this tie. But I don't know. I feel like Slovan Bratislava at home might just edge that team. And then the other game that I want, well, there's actually 2 other games I want to talk about, but Salzburg versus Club Brugge, right? So if you're listening to this, wanting to hear about who the Rangers want, who do we want to take on? For me, Club Brugge looked the better in the first half. Salzburg, though, definitely grew into the game. Simon Mignolet got man of the match, I believe. Had a lot of chances. I watched it, right? I didn't see 2 teams that I'm like, holy shit, they are on a different planet to us. It'll be tough, but getting into the Champions League's not easy, folks. It's not. It's really, really not. It's designed to be hard. Seeing an ideal world, it would be easy, but then where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? It's gotta be hard. It's gotta be brick hard. And Club Brugge, Salzburg, they'll be hard, right? Either or. I'm not really bothered. I mean, I'd kind of lean towards Salzburg. Bruges defeating them away from home makes them look better than Salzburg, but in the game, I think Salzburg were better. And then the other game, look at that at the bottom. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thought that? Shelbourne defeating Rijeka. But more on that in the review show. Till next time. Peace.